I would do too. I see. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the heart, please.
We are ready to go?
We're ready, yes. We're live.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أذري ويشرح في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. Okay. Now, who's going to be? No.
I can read, inshallah.
Sorry?
I can read if no one else wants to.
All right, it doesn't matter. Somebody will read.
So we are reading from the Book of Creation. We're on page 11, and starting with the question, what about the doctrine of the unity of being, wahdat al-wujud? The answer, the doctrine of the unity of being comes from absorption in divine unity.
Well, page 11.
Page 11.
Okay, we must have something there. Okay. Do you have page 11?
No.
Okay, how about you? You have?
No. Yes.
Okay.
I don't
11? Sorry?
I need 11.
Oh.
You
Then
want
we-
to share, maybe? Can share?
Okay. Yeah, okay. You can share. Okay.
So let me start with the question again. The question, what about the doctrine of the unity of being, wahdat al-wujud? The answer, the doctrine of the unity of being comes from absorption in divine unity. This is experienced inwardly and deeply and cannot be a matter of theory and thought. Profound absorption in divine unity, following belief in God's unity as Lord and deity, engenders belief in the power's unity only God creates. Belief in the power's unity engenders belief in the unity of dominion and ruling, which in turn ends in seeing what is witnessed as united, unity of the witnessed, and finally, in the unity of being. This leads to seeing existence as one or united, and then seeing what exists as united. So I think we can try to unpack this
Yeah,
paragraph because there's a lot going on.
right,
Try.
right.
Well, I guess the first question comes from, what does absorption in divine unity mean?
Before this, what is unity of being?
Right. What do we understand from the term, the phrase, unity of being? And as the author says, it's a doctrine that he's trying to elucidate upon in this paragraph. And it's interesting because he's saying that it's something that is very much so experiential rather than something that is based in just theory.
Or doctrinal.
Or
It
right.
is outwardly, verbally, cannot be explained. It is just experiential.
Right. It's not just information I can memorize or
Feeling
right.
that the people experience.
Mm.
Okay. So, do we know this? Are we familiar with this? Do you experience this in yourself? Absorption in divine unity. What does it mean? Absorption in divine unity. If someone has not been observed by divine unity, then he cannot talk about it because he is not experiencing it. Now, in our discussions, I feel that we are trying to observe this divine unity. That's why we always talk about how we should explain the existence, the things, created beings, we call them. And how do we explain their existence? When we analyze it, a bit going down into the subject, we say the things are, you may be familiar with this expression, the things are nothing but manifestations of air, or manifestation of some qualities which cannot be coming from the things themselves. I think you may be familiar with this way of speech in our discussions. You cannot attribute these qualities to the things themselves. Are you familiar with this?
Mm-hmm.
So some people become those people who know religion from only literature, but never thought how legitimate they are. They become sensitive because they found that the kind of similarity between what we say in our discussions and what they hear from literature, but their literature is a simple literature. It means list of the things that we should believe, rather than coming to a conclusion as a result of our own endeavor, just how it is listed in the literature that we should believe this and this and this and this. So they found we can put it up. It feels disturbed. No. Tie it back. Make a note. this information is valid for those people who don't really question the legitimacy or reasonability. Your brothers here. Legitimacy or reasonability. Legitimate for human beings, but they only refer to literal meaning of the sources. So when you start questioning, how can I make sense of it? Yes, source says this, literally it says this. But how can I refer it to my practical life? Can I really confirm it? Just because it is narrated from the prophetic saying, or just because it is stated in the Quran, then I have to follow. Why? Because I believe, I am a Muslim, I believe in Islam. So they don't really reason about how I can, I will borrow the word here, observe into my own human feelings. Okay, more intimate. Okay. Do we have two?
No, we have one.
One. Okay.
This is all.
Share it.
Yeah, we share.
Oh, thank you. So, from one aspect, for some people who cannot reason anyways, it is valid for them. But those people who are grown in this age and question about everything, even when you say, I believe in God, they say, what? Science explains in another way. If you say, I believe in the hereafter, no one has experienced it. How can you believe that we will die and resurrect? Come on. So this attitude is becoming more and more spread and followed by many people nowadays. I mean, it has been gradually invading the society, the human beings' minds, and now becoming more and more approved, confirmed by those people who question, who can question. Those people who cannot, they don't really take notice of it. They say, okay, this is my religion, this is the requirement of my religion. My religion says, believe in this, I believe. Let's do this, I believe. Why? And my religion is correct, I approve it, I confirm it. And every follower of a certain religious tradition claims the same thing. My religion is correct, so I will do whatever it requires me to do. Correct? That's the general attitude. But people are not questioning. Whatever the religious tradition they come from, they question the legitimacy of these religious claims. So those people who are satisfied with the literal statement of the text without really investigating what it really means and how can I really confirm it and be satisfied with its truthfulness, that I can really practice it within myself, they cannot do it because they cannot really practice the form and be satisfied. They must have the need, the purpose. Why should I do that? Is it really correct? That is the age, not only this age, it is gradually invading the minds of the people. And nowadays it is really becoming very enhanced, heavily occupying the people's minds. Maybe some people are fed up with it because they couldn't use their brain and they were not satisfied with any answer, or they didn't look for the answer. They just blindly follow. That is religion. I believe that after I die, I will be resurrected, gathered before God. Whatever it is, I don't care. That's what my religion says. And I confirm it and I don't question. Okay. After a certain age, people take the easy way out. But every generation starts from scratch and questions. And no, there needs an answer. So while you are trying to understand the reality of the creation or the things around us, objects, or this universe, or the elements in the universe, we question, do they need a creator? It is simple. It is a simple question. Because it is obvious that the matter cannot create themselves. The matter cannot give existence to themselves. It is illogical. No, it needs a creator. It means a source which brings them into existence. Oh, what is this source? It's a big question now. What is this source? What can it be? So people say, okay, in general, since they need a source of existence for them, for their existence, and everybody talks about God, and it must be God. That's it. Another easy way of getting away with the real human question. Yeah, how can I relate this objects around me, existent things, to its creator? I don't see any sign. Yeah? The things seems to be happening by themselves in an interesting way, but we must find another way of explaining rather than attributing it to an unknown alien phenomenon, which is called God. I don't know. Everybody talks about it, but what do they mean by it? So the people bother about it, and they are right. How can I see the relationship between the objects around me and their existence depending on another source which is not in the universe and which cannot be the same kind of the universe, because they are all made at the same time. They are all coming into existence at the same time. So there must be something, but how can I relate it? Because I don't see the effect of it. That attitude is very common, especially nowadays. It's becoming more and more widespread. Only those people blindly follow whatever they found themselves, whatever the culture they found themselves, they blindly follow, saying that, okay, my culture said this is God, the other one says another name, doesn't matter. But something unknown. Okay. How can I relate the creation to it or existence to it? Man, I created it. That's it. Why? Because they cannot exist by themselves. No, for some people, it is just a way of explanation, but some people say, oh, I cannot relate it. The things are always going and developing, improving, evolving within themselves. So some people take this matter seriously and just jump in, saying, look, we should explain this. Or by using human reasoning in order to understand what the literal meaning of the text says, if it makes sense or not, because there are various texts, there are various ways of explanations. Nowadays, people use also scientific explanation. The universe is eternal, a suggestion. Or everything is developing by itself, improving, progressing. Okay, we discussed this, evolving in order to fit into a best form. That's another explanation. And some sources say, no, it cannot develop by itself in order for a being to come into existence. It must have the power to make itself exist. It must bring it to existence. We see no quality that it brings. The things can bring themselves into existence. No one can prove it. And the matter is eternal. Well, I don't argue about it. Why? Whether it is eternal or not, but I'm considering or I am concerned with the source of existence of this matter, so that can it be the maker of itself? Yes, it must be eternal. If it cannot be the creator, maker of itself, then it is dependent. If something is dependent, it cannot be eternal. That's human reasoning. Are you with me so far? Okay, there is an outsider. Outsider means not physically, spatially outsider. Something other than the objects that we are observing must be bringing it into existence. But the main question remains there. Here must be but what it is. So there are other doctrines as well, saying it is natural, nature brings them into existence. But when you ask what is nature, they have no idea. They say the universe itself. Oh, we said at the first stage, the universe itself cannot be the source of existence of itself. It is illogical. We discussed all this a lot, but we have to come back to a very sensitive subject, because our subject is today this. If we can at least get familiar with the subject, that's my purpose. Inshallah, fulfilled. Inshallah. Just familiarity. We should know what we are talking about when we talk about the unity of being. So we said, no, it cannot be the source of its own existence. Nothing can be. They have no quality for this. But they must be brought into existence by what? When you say nature doesn't explain, Mother Nature is even more comic. Mother Nature, what's Mother? Within the universe. Explain to me, what is the nature of it? Yeah, nature of Mother Nature. No one can. No one has ever did. And no one is really claiming that I can explain Mother Nature within the universe. But what they do, they attack opposite idea. Can you explain God for me? Show God for me. That's attacking. No, Mother Nature is something within the nature, a quality. You have to show it. But I'm not saying the creator of the universe is of the nature of the universe. So, by definition, I'm not expected to manifest it, demonstrate it within the conditions of the universe, but the universe is his work. Now, what does it mean? Now we are getting a little bit sensitive points now. Universe is his work. It means I can only explain the existence of the universe by attributing it to a being, to a thing, which is the source of existence of the universe, but it is not of the nature of the universe. Yeah, it makes sense, but how can I see he is doing and bringing the things into existence? For example, I can see that the things are developing. My body is working, the plants are growing, animals are growing, reproducing. I can see them, and also stars are moving around, depending on which kind of stars we are talking about. Doesn't matter. They exist there and they function something. They emit light or energy or whatever. I can see that, but I don't see anyone who is really bringing the things into existence. You say, no, you don't have to see. Now becoming more and more subtle. You don't have to see, because when you see a work done, I can speak to Emil even now. When you see that the brownie is done, do you think that it made itself? Speak now, freely. I'm not going to get angry if you give a wrong answer. No, don't worry. I know your uncle is here, protects you. Don't worry, he's stronger than me. Yeah, speak up loud, be comfortably. So, can it make itself?
No.
Why? Why do you think it can't? Because it has no power, it has no will, continue, it has no knowledge.
Because it's not a living thing.
So it doesn't have any quality that will bring it itself into being. No, you put there. Can the brownie say, this, you didn't eat it, but the guy next to you really dying for it? Example. I don't think so, but it's an example. Right? No. It doesn't say, okay, I should go to this guy, since this guy does not appreciate me. So I'll go to the other one. He's really looking for any opportunity. So if you go to the, for example, bathroom, we will just crash and eat. Yeah? Now, for the moment, does it move at all?
No.
For 1 year, does it move? If it stays here for 1 year, does it move? No. How about 1 million years? Does it say, oh, I can move this way, I should? Can it say like this?
No.
Because it has no quality of choice. It doesn't hear, it doesn't feel, it doesn't know. It is made as it is. Do you believe that there is a maker who made the quality with materials included in it?
Yes.
So do you think it is made by wind?
No.
Why?
What do you mean by wind?
Wind, wind blew this way or another way, and then brownie made it.
No.
It took 1 billion years.
No.
Why? Because
Because the wind doesn't have the ingredients to make it.
it doesn't have any quality. Wind only follows how the universe works in itself. Order, we call it. So, what we need to explain who made the brownie and agent, something which has free will to choose and which has power and which has knowledge. Look, the qualities you should memorize. Free will. Yeah. Without free will, if I cannot choose this way or another way, I cannot make it. Because it is chosen. Rather than being something else, it is meant to be a brownie, so I have to know. And I have to be able to fulfill my knowledge and my will. It means power. So what is that? Will, knowledge, power, Iblis. And also, I have to also know that Emir will come and Emir loves it sweet. And Emir loves it soft. Yeah? I prefer this one. In order to make the brownie, I should know the purpose of making the brownie. The fourth purpose. What am I doing? What I am doing must be within my already qualities. Now, how did you know that an agent, not necessarily human being, but an agent which has will, which has knowledge, which has power, which has purpose, at least not compassion, not just, not wisdom. These are all foremost, but let's work on four main qualities. How did you know that? Without knowing who made the brownie must have these qualities. Did you dream it? No. Okay. How did you know? This is a very important question, Elif. How did you know that the agent who made the brownie must have these qualities? Did you see them, man? Well, you didn't see it. I made it, or you didn't see me make it. You were not here. But that is something else. You didn't see it. And brownie is there, waiting for you to come and eat. But you concluded that there must be some qualities necessarily existing in an agent which is not within the brownie. Yeah? Okay. How did you know that this agent must have these qualities? Did Uncle tell you?
No.
Okay. No, you didn't dream. Uncle didn't tell you. You didn't read in a book, but what were you doing? Looking at the brownie. Okay. So how did you know that agent must have these qualities?
I just knew.
Oh no. How? But you said there must be. There must be. So now, how did you come to this conclusion that there must be? It's a very crucial point, by the way. Very crucial point. Yeah. No, you know. I'm sure you know. Did you, if you never seen the brownies, would you know that these qualities are necessary?
No.
So, look, you got the answer.
Oh, so I saw the qualities and I knew somebody.
Sorry, you?
I knew.
No, speak comfortably, man, like a man. Self-confidence is missing in Muslim community. Everybody is oppressed. Yeah, speak confidently. Yeah, it is a good answer. Come on.
I knew the qualities.
By to make this brownie by now, or imagining, or looking at
the brownie.
the brownie says, in order for me to come into existence, there must be an agent, not within me, but something else, doesn't matter, must have these qualities because these qualities are obvious where?
And the brownie.
Excellent. Now, the agent and the qualities united in the existence of brownie. Yeah, here it is. Unit of being. Now, if the agent did not manifest, demonstrate, these are very important stages, demonstrate its qualities in the brownie. Can the brownie be a brownie? So, if these qualities are necessary and there must be an agent to have these qualities, brownie cannot be a brownie. But the matter has not settled yet. But the material used in the brownie, which is flour, sugar, chocolate, powder, whatever, yeah, oil, egg, existed before.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Do you think sugar, flour, oil, olive oil, eggs can say, Emir is coming, he allows us to be in the form of brownie. So it cannot eat the flour. No, it must be cooked as well. Eat. Come, let us unite and become a brownie. Can they say? Okay. Simple, isn't it? Now, how about the elements themselves? As we reason about the existence of the brownie, how about the existence of the egg, existence of flour? How do we explain this material used in the brownie? Existence of it. Can we say that flour exists by itself, egg exists by itself, right? Sugar exists by itself, heat exists by itself, and the measurement of the heat, for example, it is really digitally followed. It must be 28 minutes in certain heat degree. So 350, I'm giving my recipe. So write it down. So must exist, but these things also need an agent to come into existence. Egg, it's simple. Do you think egg can come into existence by itself? No, it must be within a certain process, taking in the, if you like, womb or womb of the hen, and then or somewhere, and then it turns into a single cell becomes an egg. So, do you think hen can make the egg? Does it have these qualities?
Yes.
Knowledge, free will, power, and purpose. And the hen says, look, hey, don't make me busy. I'm going to make an egg in my body. Do you think the hen can say this? Does the hen have these qualities?
Yes.
He can think and make. Yeah? For example, I think you have a younger sister. Am I right? Okay. Do you remember when your mother was pregnant with your sister? How old were you?
I was 2.
2 years old.
I was
Do you remember your mother's belly was swollen.
Yes.
Now, do you think the mother is making your sister, what was her name? Whatever. Whatever. So, mother is making at night or somewhere,
Oh no.
or why? So these elements also need agent to come into existence, right? Even an atom needs an agent to come into existence. And we can look at the existence of the atom or particle, whatever, or a cell. We see that they are made some smaller materials, but they need agent. However small stage you can go, still they have some qualities, and these qualities, if you don't believe us, the physicists, even the atheist physicists, they will say there is some subparticles in the atom structure. They behave in this way, in this way, in this way. Do they have knowledge? Whatever the degree you go, do they have free will? I'm going to be like this. Can they say that the atom has a free will? I'm going to do this. And it has the power to make itself to be whatever they want, whatever they prefer to. If you go deeper and deeper and deeper parts of everything, it says I have some qualities and I am not the source of existence of these qualities. Right? The universe says I am not the source. Atom says I am not the source. Subparticles say I am not the source of my existence because I have no quality to make myself into being like as I am. Right? Up to where we go? What is left?
It's no end.
Now, everything consists of manifestations of it is source of existence. Now, some people say, I got it now. What we do this analysis in our discussions. They say, I got it. I understood. There is no independent being from its source of existence independently. Wherever I look, I see it is manifestations of it is agent to bring into existence. Wow, it's great understanding. When you look at the universe, everything becomes what? At every degree of its existence, everything becomes what? Manifestations of the quality of its agent. Wow. Doesn't it make you amazed? Be amazed? You say, I cannot think of anything existent independent of this agent. Everything consists of the manifestations of its qualities. How did I know? Not because I have seen the agent, I don't have to. And here, didn't have to see me making the brownie, but qualities told the emir's mind as a human being, thinking, rational human being, said, these qualities cannot be from the brownie, must have an agent outside. And what I see here, all me, hey, thank you. Let's go. No, it is his.
No,
You take this.
no, this is the second one we shared.
Okay, it's
It's
his.
calling me though. I wanna obey that one.
So, please, feel free. No, don't speak. Don't, I don't like that. Look, feel free, man. Yeah. Put that one as well. Yeah. So, feel free. No. Put emirs. Emir. That's it. Feel free, Emir. Yeah. Even there are extra here. Because we have to finish. This is for you. So, it is purposefully done for you by the agent. Now, what they say after reflecting on the existence of the universe and everything in it, they become somehow conscious of the agent, which we call it in our discussions the source of existence of everything, consists of the manifestation of the qualities of their source. There is no independent being existent. Now, it looks very satisfactory, but in our practical life, we cannot go into that deep reflection all the time. It is just a temporary reflection. So, the expression is used here, absorption in divine unity, which is experienced inwardly and deeply and cannot be a matter of theory and thought. Just my conclusion. Just my necessary conclusion. But in our practical life, although I agree with it, this makes sense, helps me explain the existence of the things around me, and I'm happy with it. But yes, I am happy with it, but in my practical life, if you ask me, Ali, there will be some people coming to the discussion. Have you made the brownie? I say, no, I haven't. Come on. Okay, I go and do some actions. Although I am not the agent who brings neither brownie nor its parts into existence. But I do something. Why? Now, if you remember now, we started from a very materialistic approach to the universe, ended up there is no independent existence in the universe. Now we are going back, reverse direction. Okay? Since it is only the manifestation of the qualities of its origin of existence, let it do that. Why should I bother? Yeah. But I don't see that the manifestations are coming there. I see brownie, I see the material. Now I see the sun, I see the plants, all kinds of plants and animals, and stars, galaxies. They're there. I cannot say that they make themselves. It doesn't make sense to me now at this stage. But at the same time, I say, okay, it is dark outside. Sun has not risen. It means it is not dawn. Now, the earth has not completed its rotation so that it will turn its face where geographically I am to the sun, and then I will say this is a new day. Now, we are in between two different if you like, realities. One is deeply, inwardly experienced and convinced about the reality of existence. The other one is practically, not theoretically, we are seeing that wind is blowing and the tree is moving, trees branches are moving, leaves are making noise. That's my practical life. Now, although my conclusion theoretically was right, convincing for me, but practically most of the people do not go into this matter. I feel that, well, we explain it very easily, yeah? That everything is nothing but manifestations of their origin of existence. Well, we did, but if we have not really experienced this way of thinking, it will be so alien to you. Say, no, I never hear any scholars are saying this or that. It is not in the text of the Quran saying like this. Quran just said, I created everything. Then I say, okay, I'm a believer in the religion of Islam. The Quran is our main book, divine book, sacred book. So it says God created the universe. Yeah, there must be so, because these things cannot really exist by themselves. They're so perfectly working. It must be a work of a something which is called God. Yeah, finish. People think it this way. Oh. If you go and say that, amen, to these people, you say everything is created by God, but you say God exists there, universe exists here, and you are saying that there are two types of existence. Are they? What do you mean? Everything is created by God. What do you mean? Come on. So the text says, if a person has not gone through this training of reflection and deeply within his own understanding observed the idea that we see nothing but the manifestations of the qualities of their origin of existence, their agent. So theoretically, we cannot say that God exists on the one hand, universe exists on the other hand. So in our practical experience of life, we say there is a creator and there are creatures. Practically. Is it correct? Correct. Because it is practical. We are not talking about theoretically, we are talking about practically. So creatures are there, yes. I don't say that the universe itself is God. Huh? There must be a creator. Makes sense. Not universe also. A creature created by this creator exists out there. We cannot say that the universe is God. Practically. Your theoretical explanation starts contradicting your practical life conditions. Right? That is what this understanding of unity of being there. There is only one independent existent, which is called the creator of the universe, the origin of the existence of everything. On the other hand, practically speaking, no, but as an extension of this, I'm summarizing what we have talked about. What we see here in the form of a universe is nothing but manifestations of the qualities of its maker. Now, the universe is nothing but manifestations. Can we say that they have a physical, independent existence? No, manifestations. For example, the typical simple example is looking at an artwork. Yeah? An artwork. The elements, because it is an analogy between what we see in this world and what we see in this world, two separate items, artist and art. Both of them are in the universe. So we cannot really exactly apply this analogy to our previous conclusion. But it gives us a clue that there is a difference between the art and the artist. Now, when I look at the piece of art, apart from the materials, what is art? Not necessarily the framed piece. Art. Now, not every framed piece can be called art. There must be art in it, manifesting. Right? There must be a manifesting quality in the art. Can you show this quality physically? When you show it on the page or the frame. No? You cannot show it, but you are absolutely sure that a quality is manifesting there. Is there any doubt about it? That people don't pay, for example, for a beautiful piece of art, for the canvas, for the frame, for the paint, material. They pay for the stranger.
Oh my goodness.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay. No, sir. Alaikum salam. So, this way. Here it is. There is a next slide. There you go.
Thank you.
So it is dangerous because we are just
Getting into the subject.
but since you don't have any background for today, you have the background, but for today, you see what I've been talking about. So bear with us, eh? We understand. Don't jump into a conclusion.
Okay, you're talking about Vajitul Wujud.
Have you been listening?
Yes, we got. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you know the background. So we can continue now. So people pay for the art, but art is nothing but. We will continue the sentence. The art we call art is nothing but. Use this vocabulary that we have been developing.
Manifestation of the quality of the artist.
Manifested art is nothing but manifestation of the qualities.
Of its maker.
Now, logic asks for qualities. Did it come from the paint? Did it come from the pieces, material of the art? No, cannot be, huh? We demonstrated and Emir concluded that the pieces of the brownie cannot make the brownie. They are materials. Well, the pieces of this material of this house cannot make the house. A quality must manifest in it. And these qualities are such. We discussed that. In the art example, qualities are manifesting there, and these qualities cannot be palpable, physically experiential, but intellectually perceived. Do you understand? I cannot show this is the art, for example. Can you look at a piece of art and say, this is the frame, put aside, put aside. This is the canvas, put aside. This is the paint, put aside, because they are not, that we are talking about qualities. Put aside. What is left? Art. No? Art disappears. Yeah? When you take all of them away, there's no art. Yeah? So, qualities only for us, human beings. Logically, intellectually, emotionally, whatever you call it, heart, brain, whatever you call it. Qualities are only perceivable by if they are manifested in physical form. All the materials there, all together, manifest the qualities. Do you understand that? All together, manifest the qualities. Although these qualities are not from them. Right? But qualities start demonstrating, showing themselves to you, those people who reason, question. Oh, these qualities are like, again, another example from these universal conditions, sunlight in the mirror. You see the reflection of sunlight in the mirror. It is puzzling. If you don't have the mirror, you don't see the reflection. If you have the mirror, if there was no sun, logically speaking, there is no light quality. What's going on? This is an inevitable structure of the universe. It's so wonderful that human beings cannot experience the qualities if they don't appear in a physical, observable, or somehow emotionally perceivable form. Otherwise, you cannot be aware of the existence of the qualities. Simply put it, if there was no universe, but only you, and you don't see your physical side and question, how did I come into existence later? Can you be aware or come to any conclusion that there is a God?
No.
There is a God? No. Only through experience of the manifestation that you talk about God or the Creator. So it is human nature that we have to it is human nature that we have to experience the manifestation of the qualities of the origin of existence when it takes a form, for example, like an art material, like a mirror example, something. But these some things have nothing to do with art or the light. Now, mirror cannot be the source of existence of the art, so the light. And the material in the art piece cannot be the source of existence of the art quality, but quality is there. So we must inevitably be in contact with the universe existence so that we will be able to perceive the manifestation, the reality of manifestation of qualities. That is how we are. We cannot go beyond it. So we cannot say that there is only one creator, but nothing else. Yes, existentially that is true if you really deeply observe the matter. If you are superficially looking at the world, you'd better say universe is existent and it is a creature and it has a creator. This creator is independent being, subsisting being, self-sustaining being, and the universe is a dependent and needs to be created, given existence. That is an easy, practical way of looking at the matter. But it doesn't exclude and deny our first stage of reasoning, reflection. So you call it, you are aware that there is only one independent existence, which is the absolute existence, creator. Don't see it comfortably. You don't make it. So it is dangerous, huh? No,
I didn't see it.
of course you will not, but you were not aware of what we are talking about either.
Yeah.
Even you don't grasp it. Awake, not to people when listen to khutbahs in the masjid, they do what you're working at now. So what did they get? Nothing. So it's impossible to get something, just hearing something, this information. So we are not talking about information, we are talking about active reasoning, intellectual, being convinced and satisfied within ourselves. It's an internal experience. You know that your conclusion is absolutely correct. But at the same time, in practical life, we only observe the manifestation. We don't observe the origin, the source of the qualities that we observed their manifestation. Do you understand?
Mm.
So it is inevitable that we are in between. Depending on our approach, we can say unity of being is really correct, theoretically. Practically, no. Why? That's how we are. So I can perceive this or this theoretical conclusion as a result of my reflections, and be convinced about the reality that only an absolute being exists. But I cannot not live and experience this absolute, independent, existent origin of reality. I am living within the manifested world. So the problem with these people who observed and inwardly, deeply experienced the conclusion we arrived at the first stage of reasoning, they should not bring it into practical life. It must be a conclusion of which I am sure correct. Do you understand? But practical life, I have to go and interact with the manifestations in this creature or created form. Right? So don't confuse theoretical conclusion and practical application. Do you understand? Some people, when they deeply think about the existence, come to the conclusion and say, no, there is nothing exists, but there nothing exists, but only the creator. How about this one? Come on! Think about it. It's impossible that they have an independent existence. This is called ecstasy. While they are lost in reflection, they become really very sure about their conclusion and say, nothing exists by God. But in the practical life, you listen to me or to this person, I listen to this person, I say, these are creatures created by God. He says they don't exist. It doesn't make sense. Wallahi, they exist. By God, they exist. Why do you deny that? And also literal explanation of the source, Quran or prophetic saying, says universe is out there, but it is created by God. So there are two objects, creator and created. No, the Quran says this as well. How do you deny God's word? What is this defense or this attack, whatever you call, is literal understanding of the word. Noah went into the deep meaning of it and analyzed it. How can I confirm this message? So you have to go through a theoretical stage of reflection. Okay. You see that where the conflict starts, and unless they understand each other, this conflict cannot be solved. If you read famous, an authoritative, not a simple one, it's an authoritative, you got father of Sufism. Their language is full of what? It's very interesting. They keep saying, if you want to exist, look at this word. How many times they very often use this expression? You have to be a non-existent. If I want to exist, if I want to be an existent, I have to be a non-existent. Are you joking? Are you playing with the words? The one who speaks really means it. The one who reads like me, this man is crazy. So there is an expression area conflicting with each other. You cannot say to me while I am not in that level of reflection. Keep it for your period of reflection. After a certain time, you become sober. They call it intoxicated Sufis. It means lost in their personal reflections. Sober Sufis means, they come, I feel hungry. What shall I do? They go and cook and there was no independent existence from God. What are you doing? So the reality of our human existence is not to be practiced, applied according to our intellectual, inward, sensual, whatever you call it, human conclusions. We cannot live It is your conclusion. You are convinced about it, but your conditions of your existence requires that created and the creator. Now, the origin of existence and the manifestations of its qualities. You have to make this distinction in your practical life. So never ever confuse with theory. So confuse the theory, if you have ever reached it, which sometimes in our discussions, whether you realize or not, we go that deep. We come there. But we never say that practically we should ignore the universe. Why? Because it is not our practical side. Intellectually, we must be convinced, but practically, we must live in the universe as we are created with this quality. We cannot get out of our skin. We cannot get out of our conditions of existence that we are created in this world. Right? Now, before you, this baby was dying to ask something or to make a comment, whatever. Okay, go ahead. And then you, that's your turn. Afterwards. Benefits?
Oh, me?
Yeah, yeah. You've been doing this.
Oh, well, I have a few, I guess, comments. I mean, one, going back to the examples that you gave with the art, the mirror, I guess just to make it clear, the physical aspects that are necessary for me to observe the manifestation of the qualities are in themselves also manifested qualities as well, must be, since they can't have any independent existence of their own. That was just something that I was thinking. And also about how do theoretical conclusions not have the ability to permeate into how I interact or perceive my existence and the existence of everything else as I'm practically living? I mean, can they not shape how I interact or how I look and see something? And isn't that also one of the, I guess, primary roles of an intellectual, or primary role or purpose of a theoretical conclusion, so that it does affect my practical interactions? And just thirdly,
no, don't go ahead.
Okay.
So keep the thirdly, don't forget. Now, first was a comment.
Yeah.
No, okay, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
The second was a question.
Right.
I took it in the form of a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you are a believer. You believe in the Creator. Right? No problem about it. You are convinced about it. And I am an atheist. I don't mind playing the role of an atheist. I can challenge atheism. No. So I have no problem. If someone says you are an atheist, I don't laugh at it. That's it. So I'm an atheist. So both of us worked and we are hungry. Practical.
Right.
Okay. And it is the lunchtime. We got out of the office together. We are working in the same office. Are we walking together?
Yes.
Is there any difference if someone sees our action? This man is a believer, this man is not. This man is aware of the reality of creation, and this man just says the matter exists by itself and it's a stupid idea or illogical idea.
Externally, no.
No. Okay. While we are while eating our lunch, I'm thinking of the downtown Manhattan. The people are doing the same thing every day. So they are like robots. So they still keep talking about their business. So you need it's fluctuated up and down, and then you see what I'm in the market. It's like the stocks are going every day. The same language. I don't know why they don't get fed up with it. So we do the same thing, both of us. You bite the food, I bite the food. But it doesn't exist, does it? According to you. According to me, that is the one. According to you, no. God, manifestation of his qualities. You are looking at us. We are both biting into the sandwich. Is there any difference? Physically, form-wise, practically?
For an observer, no.
But within yourself, you feel that you are just interacting with the manifestation of your creator as well as the food you are eating. So this is just the manifestation of the creator of your conditions of your existence. But you are aware that the artist of this art is so talented. Art happened to be by itself through billions of years evolved. Yeah. And we are looking at the same art, apparently the same. What I feel biting into the sandwich, but I don't care mostly. So eventually, by chance, then disappear from existence. Yeah, as a human being. But your source of existence, who is taking care of you, but he is the absolute one, self-existent one. These are just my practical side of existence that I am created. But ultimately, intellectually and emotionally, sensually, you know that your creator is, if you like, addressing you, demonstrating himself to you. Seagulls flying, because that side is very close to the ocean, so there are many seagulls in the parks, small parks. So flying, really very clever, but I don't know why it made it. Why? Well, they will die, I will die. Invades my feeling. We will disappear from this beautiful appearance. We will never see this or experience the beauty of this garden. But you say, these are the not signs. Good news, I have to say. Another way, come on. Good news, it was good news. What did you say?
Glad tidings.
Glad tidings from my creator that, look, you are going to eat this, and I know 6 hours later you will become hungry again. But don't worry, I am the source of existence of you. Even you stay hungry, you know that is only the manifestations of my qualities to make you more and more aware of my reality. Don't lose yourself in the appearance of the material appearance of the garden, but experience the manifestation of my qualities. Connect your existence with me. So existence with non-existence at the end. Yes. One of them feels absolutely despair, disappointed, me. Whereas you feel completely, yes, I belong to an absolute being. A manifestation of his qualities, I am not him. There are some very extreme Sufis use this. I am him. Yeah? So, no, the utility is more than the Sunni side. Sunni side just imitates the written exception. But Hema Ezos. Whoever. It means it is. Do you understand? So, for sandwich, eating, that's reality. For you, you are interacting with the mercy of or introducing the absolute to you through that's it. But for you, it is the manifestation of your creator introducing himself to you on every occasion. He never leaves you alone in your existence. As long as you exist, it is with you. Because without him, you cannot exist. Now, you are not him, but without him, you cannot exist. This is the expression, summarizes it. So there is a difference between, it's a human being. It's a human being. Because materially, there is no difference. In the Quran also, those people who entertain this life and don't believe in God, in me, let them entertain. I can give, doesn't matter. Yeah, I can give them hundreds of sandwiches, but at the end they will come to me. Do you see what I'm? So that is the literal explanation in the Quran. But you should never forget to remember me. Dhikr, which is called tadakkur. Yeah, remembrance. Or the continuous remembrance, tadakkur means this. Continuous remembrance, constant remembrance of the Creator. And attaching your existence to it and making your existence meaningful for you. For me, my existence is a joke. Yeah? I don't know how I put, but I put, developed, and I developed into this form. But for you, deliberately given existence in order to become aware of the origin of your existence and attach your existence or refer your existence to its creator. You are nothing but the manifestation of its qualities. So, but in the physical, practical side, this manifestation is different from the art, the artist. So you know that if I say, now let's come to the art example. Without artist, there is no art. Yeah? But art is not the artist. Do you understand? So, but without artist, there is no art. So I'm not saying art is the artist. Now, one of them is intellectual, theoretical conclusion. The other one is practical conditions of our existence. So if we have to talk according to our experience on our level of consciousness, awareness. So while you say, I am hungry, I have to go and get a sandwich. Yeah? As a believer. I say, I am hungry, I have to go and get a sandwich. Practical life conditions, we do the same thing. So that is why the form of actions that we perform is not important. What you make out of it is important. How much are you aware of its reality? How much do you use your human qualities to question its reality? Matters. Does it make sense?
Yes. So I mean, it's inevitable for there to be a dynamic interaction between the theoretical conclusions and the experiential aspects, right? Because they both inform each other.
Yeah.
Which is why I suppose I was a little confused by the author's statement that, the doctrine can't be a matter of theory and thought, because the two can't be isolated from one another. I mean, don't they look to each other, both the theoretical conclusions and the practical experiences?
Normal human conditions requires that they must work together hand in hand. What is normal? But I am free to make it unite or separate or ignore one side. Yeah. Someone may say, For example, only God exists, nothing exists. Why should I bother about the sandwich? But 1-2 days later, they start bothering about the sandwich. It's not realistic. That's not we are created like that. Yeah, that is another extreme. But on the other side, they say, okay, there is sandwich, but there is no creator of it. It exists by itself accidentally. Yeah, ultimate accident. People make it, but the materials existed materially accidentally. Developed by itself, or however it happened. They don't really go into deep discussion there. They say maybe something exploded one day, or these are just legends. Now, physically maybe, but they are not explaining how the things came into existence. But they say how the things happening after they came into existence. What they do, as if matter arranges itself, rearranges itself over and over again by itself. They don't realize that there is a question there. Can matter arrange itself continuously over and over again? They don't ask this question because they avoid, how many times we discuss in our discussion, questioning existence. How can I explain existence? They take existence for granted, because they have no answer, and talk about how existence is working as if by itself. If you take existence for granted, you don't question, because the action of the things also exists by itself accidentally. That's it. As it is like this. If you really look at the language of the people, or as I say this on several occasions, nowadays philosophy is dead. Questioning and getting the answer. Scientists overtook the philosophy. Scientists are practical people. Practical, no theory. No? Like some believers. They are practical. I pray, I fast, I believe in God, and what else should I believe? You have to believe in the hereafter. Okay, I believe. And what else? You have to believe in the prophethood. Oh, okay, why not? But what are they aware why? They don't question. No? That's the religious requirements. So simplistic. So that is one side of it, really being cheap and simple and not utilizing human qualities. Another side is taking the existence for granted, that the matter exists like that and acts in this way. And as scientists, we are going deeper and deeper how the process of acting is taking place. Whether it is acting by itself or it is given existence as we observe it, never question it. That's why in science there is no philosophy, real philosophy. What they do, they impose their unthought, not reflected conclusions, materialistic approach to the matter itself, that matter exists by itself, and without questioning it, they impose the discoveries they make, how the process of things are taking place without questioning the agent, factor, quality, without questioning. That is why scientists, in fact, they don't leave, if they don't leave the lab experience, but start questioning the existence of their lab experiences, they cannot be a philosopher. It means questioning human being and looking for the satisfactory answer. So that's why I say it gradually developed, came to the last post-modern period of age, and they concluded scientific discoveries are explaining the origin of existence. Comedy, isn't it? It's playing the game, playing a game. It doesn't explain the origin of existence. It only observes how, for example, he observes that I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm speaking, and I'm breathing, and I'm thinking. There's talks about this, but he never questions my existence, the existence of my ability to speak, existence of my ability to see. Never questions, and say we are philosophers. They are only a pseudo philosophers. They are not philosophers. They are not thinking. They are not thinking human beings. That's why you find that in the civilization, there is no questioning. No one questions. The child grows in the house. If the food is not ready, just shouts, "Mom, I'm hungry." No questions. Why I shouldn't prepare my dinner, my lunch, So at the age of 20, they don't know how to handle with the knife and cut an onion. But when these opportunities were not available as they are now, 10 years old person was a man or woman, not a child anymore, in life conditions that time. So if you go to the primitive societies, 8 years old child, what does he do? Looks after 10, 20 cows, and is very expert on the subject, takes care of his life. 8 years old. Come to New York, is there any need 8 years old child can really make an egg crumble? No. No. That is why human beings are really improving their qualities or going backwards. Decreasing their qualities is the question with these opportunities. So the development of technology helps human beings or not, but gives the opportunity. You can see how wonderful the manifestations are taking place by looking at the discoveries, which are called scientific discoveries. But no philosophy is common in human beings in the civilization. So no questioning. Believers don't question, imitate the source. Non-believers don't question, imitate the materialistic approach by saying the things exist by themselves, finished, right? And that's it. Have you thought about it? Can you have any reasonable explanation which is approved by human feelings? No. Just say, well, the things are there, man. Are you going to deny that the universe exists? Come on, they are there. They are power. No question. So both sides are non-questioning bulks of population are increasing. Both sides. Believers are not questioning. Non-believers in the Creator are not questioning either. What is going on? Human qualities are degrading. Are becoming as if non-functional, especially lately. We don't know what will happen at the end. Maybe people just burst out and rebel against technological trap. I mean, I'm not against technology, but falling into and using it as a trap because it doesn't let you think, reflect. So it is prepared everything without human endeavor. So we are spoiled children of the age. Do you understand? And I'm not really bothering about my own being. What am I? Who am I? So, believers say that's our religion. Non-believers say that matter is eternal. Finish. They exist by themselves.
You done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Pretty much what Aishinur pointed out, like theory doesn't make sense until its application. I mean, if they go hand in hand,
We have to learn how to
Right.
combine.
that's the point I wanted
We
to
have to learn how to combine.
Mhm.
We cannot deny neither of them or either of them. We cannot deny. We have to know. Theoretically, I must be conscious of my conclusion. Practically, I am created in this world and put and I am put in connection with the manifestations in the form of food, in the form of air, in the form of sunlight, in the form of my body, in the form of my physical need for shelter, transportation, this kind. So ignore none of them. But don't be only one side. Impossible. A believer without universe, a universe without seeing the manifestation. Simple. Doesn't work. Both sides don't work. But for some people, they don't question. Well, that's their business. My business is to question. I know I have ability to question. I am urged to question, but I can have I have the free will not to take notice of this urge. Yeah. For example, if you are busy with something, if you are hungry, you say, "Look, you have free will." Eh? Oh, no, I'm hungry. No, let me finish this one and then go. And yesterday I was working here. I put the kettle on to boil the water. The kettle was full. 3 hours, 4 hours later, I remember there was a kettle on the fire. Jumped from my desk. Thank God. Went there. There was still some water left at the bottom. So the kettle wasn't burned. But really, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. I don't know.
Fire engine is next door anyways.
Yeah. But there was no smell or anything because just water was boiling, and evaporated. So yeah, we have to work, but at the same time set the clock, not to forget that there is water in the kettle on the fire. So we have to do the both. So we don't say that it happened. That's Allah's will. Yes, that's Allah's will, because your free will has not chosen to take notice of it. Yeah, I am responsible for my choice. God is the one who creates the universe, is responsible to create as a result, and not whatever is the result of my choice. Simple? Yeah? Said, okay, whatever you choose, I will create it. If you ignore it, I will boil the water. That's how my creation is. I don't change my creation because you were doing something better. Yeah, I was really doing something better. According to me, of course. Another person may say this man is wasting his time. So what we did now, in fact, we didn't cover only the first paragraph. Before you came, I read the following paragraphs as well. So, look, can you read it? And if you have any question, the time is up. If you have any question in the following paragraphs, or in this paragraph too, we can discuss next week. Otherwise, we will come to a point where we have not covered today. Okay.
I mean, I have questions about the first paragraph, but
Okay.
I can read the second paragraph first.
No, but what is the question?
I was
I don't promise that.
yeah.
First, I am able to answer. The second, I will answer even if I know the time is up. Yeah.
Right. I was just thinking about the third sentence. It says profound absorption in divine unity, following belief in God's unity as Lord and deity, engenders I'm guessing that means brings about belief in the powers unity only God creates. In terms of the line of reasoning,
Yeah.
it seems like it should be the other way around, in that I observe that only the existence of everything that around me can only be from an absolute source, only God creates. And then that observation, that belief, leads me to see the divine unity.
You are right. There is no need to really expand the subject. You are absolutely right. But this is a question at the end of how many pages of evidence. So the question is, when you study the subject as the author presents to us, we come to a point that, there's unity of being, what which is called in Arabic, or a kind of pantheism. But not exactly, but a kind of. No, roughly speaking, you can say that believers pantheism. This is what I mean. The other one is non-believers pantheism.
But I think it's problematic to even just use the term pantheism.
Yeah, okay, it is problem. I understand, because ignores the background. Yeah, you are right. But just if someone doesn't know what the religion is, or unity of being is, so the reader of the previous sections, the author went into deeper, and the minds of the reader became ready. I think this unit of being theory, or theoretical conclusion, seems to be correct, which I agree. Personally, I don't know. Yeah, but the author says now it is time to make a distinction. Yeah, what is the unity of theory? In what conditions it is correct? In what conditions it is not correct? Right? Theoretically taking you to an absolute being and attributing your existence to an absolute being, the existence of everything, and saying that this absolute being has independent existence, the others do not have independent existence, they are nothing but manifestations. Okay. Theoretically, it looks consistent, but if you don't notice the conditions that we are created in, you start speaking against vocabulary, terms, terminology, concepts that the people most probably will be puzzled or reject you, that they will reject you, that you are not a believer. We know that historically it happened. Those people who use this language, even they were arrested, they were killed by the believers. So they didn't mind. But they didn't notice that I cannot speak to the people who are involved in this cause and effect relationship, existence, order of the universe, without thinking deeply it is origin of existence. So I may ask them to go through the stages of coming to the conclusion that as I did, what we have been doing. So going stage by stage. Now at this stage, he jumps into the unity of being theory and tries to make the distinction between, we named it theoretical, practical side, but he doesn't use this expression. There is a reason, we simplified it. He says, look, you cannot speak to the people who are engaged, involved in causal relationship of the universe, saying that if I will eat, I will suffer. So if there was no material, I cannot make the brand. But I don't question the existence of materials. Yeah, practically. They are there for me, practically. theoretically you can question. So what we did here, summarized the background side of it. That is why he starts from the conclusion. Otherwise, the paragraph is consistent to my understanding. Read the following and see if there is anything problematic for you. We can reflect on it, study, work together.
Sure. The ecstatic sayings of some Sufis that go beyond what is really intended must not be taken as proofs for this way's truth. If people who have not saved themselves from the sphere of cause and effect, who organize their lives considering the law of causality, speak about the unity of being, inclusive of created entities, they exceed their limits. Those who
So they exist their limits in terms of practice. Yeah, pragmatically speaking, it doesn't work. Okay.
Those who really sense and speak about this unity restrict themselves to the necessarily existent being in isolation from the created and see God as the only truly existent being.
Now, that's their conclusion, right? Or do you think we should study next week? Or I thought we covered it, but yeah, okay. If you are satisfied with it, go ahead.
Read ahead.
If you say, okay, we can manage with it, yeah.
Seeing the result together with or contained in the evidence leading to it, that is, seeing the all-majestic Maker as the only truly existent being, comes from absorbing the view and experience of the divine being's existence. Comes from absorbing the view and experience of the divine being's existence.
Yeah, experiencing theoretically. Yeah.
It is the result of seeing or perceiving divine manifestations in the channels of existence.
Yeah. No, look, it's still look. Through the existence, material existence, I reach the conclusion that only one absolute being has independence. But through using the manifestation again. So we should not ignore this reality. The reality of the type of existence that we are experiencing.
It is the result of seeing or perceiving divine manifestations in the channels of existence and the flux of divine effulgence in the inner dimension of things.
So this flux of divine effulgence means divine manifestation. Yeah? Continuously present there. Okay.
And the manifestation of divine names and attributes in the mirrors of creatures.
Yeah. So in the mirrors of creatures, divine names and its attributes, or the creator's qualities, we call them, we see that in the mirrors of creatures. So why do we ignore the reality that creatures are there? And we are only able to conclude that there is one being who has independent absolute existence only after this observation. So if there was no created universe, if you like, there would be no God for me. How would I know? Yeah, emotionally we know, no, this is the result of our experiences. Human nature acknowledges that there must be a source of existence. But source of existence of what? If I don't see anything. So if there was no brownie here, do you ask who made the brownie? There's no brownie. You understand? If there was no, for example, an animal, cat, do you investigate who is the maker of the cat? There's no cat. So if there was no such a being that we name an animal or a plant, no existence Can we argue who is the maker or creator of this thing? It is imaginary, not real, really existing being. No, because I wouldn't see the manifested qualities of it. So I wouldn't try to look for the source of this manifested qualities there, intellectually, questioning, because there's no such thing. So conclusion is very simple. If there was no universe, for me, I cannot talk about the creator on it. The existence. In the language of the Quran, even the next creation is another act of creation. Because we cannot do without manifested world. Yeah? So it is called in the language of the Quran, Khalqun Jadid. What does it mean? A new creation. Again, creation. Manifestation. Without manifestations, we cannot experience as human beings. That's our spirit is not only physical. No, that's human nature is this. That's what we are. Without experiencing the manifestation, I cannot experience the creator at all. I cannot hope. That's why in any case, I have to be a created being. I have to be. Here or the new existence, but which kind of, doesn't matter. I don't know which kind of creation, I don't care. I'm not going to make it, I'm not the engineer of the hereafter. So why should I bother? Whoever is going to do it, he will be responsible for it, not me. So I can only say that my existence definitely must continue because my source of existence is absolute. That's it. But I must exist. I must exist in the form of creation, act of creation. We give the simple example: if an artist doesn't draw any art, can you say this man is an artist? Yeah. But if you do something and say, "What? Oh, it's a beautiful art. You must be an artist." If I don't see your work, how can I know you are an artist? Because that's beyond my reality, right? So this is also be covered. Okay, let's see my personal view.
And he's saying the same thing in that last sentence in 3 different ways, right? I mean, he says result of seeing or perceiving divine manifestations, the flux of divine effulgence, manifestation of divine names. I think those are, he's just explaining each phrase with another phrase.
I think
That is-
there are another thing.
Right.
He's not talking about.
Okay.
I think we covered this much, but I am not sure about the following paragraph. Where did I will see whether we will start from it?
Sure. My personal view is as follows. This perception pertains to inner experience and sensing. However, as such belief or inner experience cannot be expressed exactly, those who follow the unity of being interpret it as pervading divinity and permeating life in creatures. Philosophers, or those who try to find the truth with their intellects or sense impressions, have made this way a philosophical or intellectual topic, and thus a source of false ideas and concepts.
So what does it mean here, philosophical and intellectual topic? It means apart from, independent of the reality of existence there, they wanted to produce a theory, a model of thinking, not supported by the experience of the universe, existence. In the Quranic teaching, or we said that if there was no universe, there would be no mention of the Creator, by definition. But nevertheless, we exist. So our existence is enough. Our existence of the senses is enough. But those philosophers never refer to the universe. Say that I will explain the Creator or how the things happen without getting any evidence from the universe.
How can you do that?
Sorry?
How can you do
Or
that?
if you read the philosophy, they just make up a model, doctrine,
out of the
Without-
without
No,
any,
without evidence. Yeah. Do you think now the scientists are talking about the philosophical side of it, their interpretations of what the results of their discoveries? Do they really refer their conclusions to the universe? They say what we see, it's happening by itself like this. That's it. That's it. And they say, for example, universe it exists eternally. Have you experienced it? Huh? Have you experienced eternity in the
It's
universe?
explaining the matter, but not the source of the matter.
So matter, and have you experienced any eternity within the universe? How can you say that the matter is eternal? But there's no experience, no sign of it. What we have been talking about, all manifested qualities in existence. Yeah, I am experiencing the quality. I am saying that this is a piece of beautiful art. I can pay 10,000 for it. It's beautiful. I want to put it and hang it on my wall. I am experiencing, although I cannot physically show the art, but I'm a human being. I can deduce it definitely. There is a very precious quality manifesting in the art, which is called the quality of art or artistry. So, unfortunately, both sides, those people who don't think, don't question why they believe in God. The other side don't question why they say that the matter is eternal. Do you see any eternity in the universe? No. Is there any sign? No. So, in the universe, there is no eternity. But the source of existence of the universe must be eternal because it is the source of existence of temporary things. He is giving existence. Otherwise, they cannot exist by themselves. So again, using the existence, the creation, this world, as the source of evidence. So they accuse those believers claiming they believe in God without evidence and justifying their belief in matter is eternal without existence. I cannot show that nature is making it. You cannot show that God is making it in the universe. But they miss the point. Nature is within the universe by definition. God is not of the nature of the universe by definition. So you cannot argue with me in the same term, on the same term. Do you understand? So that is why the philosophers, the Texas philosophers, or those who try to find the truth with their intellect or sense impressions, it means only without getting the evidence from creation. Yeah? We have to put it only here. Okay? Otherwise, we use also our intellect, we use also our senses. But not only as a tool to interpret the existence of the universe or understand the existence of the universe. So sense impressions are ignored, have made this way a philosophical or intellectual topic independent of evidence in the universe. Right? Got it? So, thus, a source of false ideas and concepts. This is baseless. No evidence, baseless claim. So, we should not justify if we have not questioned our belief in God by saying that they don't bring any evidence. So it's okay if I don't bring any evidence either, but I feel that God must exist. It is wrong. It is equally wrong for an atheist people or those people who don't believe in the Creator say that, no, I don't have any evidence, but I feel that it must be so. Why? I have another, not another. I have no another way of explaining the eternity of matter. Yeah? Both of them are wrong. So we shouldn't use justification for each other's forces. But we have to be in the middle saying that, look, that is what I conclude, and my evidence here in the universe you can experience. Go and experience it. Question it, you can understand. Yeah. Okay, let's stop here. I think this one, my personal, the paragraph starts with my personal view is as follows. I think we covered this as well. Yeah, because it's a summary of what we have been discussing. Do you understand? So we can start from this paragraph next week. The time is really, really late, or almost half an hour. So thank you very much. Inshallah, next Saturday, no Monday, no Wednesday for the coming week, but next Saturday. So we will continue. Inshallah. That is how the creation is. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة الفاتحة.
And,